If you've been following the real estate market lately, I don't blame you if you're confused. Depending on what headline you click, the market is either crashing, booming, frozen, or completely unaffordable. And honestly, none of those tell the full story. So let's talk about what's actually happening in 2026, especially if you're thinking about buying or selling a home. Here's the biggest truth most people are missing. The market is still moving here in Maryland, and it's not moving the same way everywhere. That's the part the headlines don't explain. Real estate has always been hyper-local, and right now that matters more than ever. A waterfront home in Sparrows Point is going to sell differently than a farm in Whitehall. A single-family home in Bel Air is going to behave very differently than a townhouse in Dundalk. And you know what? There are buyers for all of them. The market didn't stop, it just became more specific. Consumers have an immense amount of data at their fingertips now, and sometimes need help disseminating it. What we're seeing right now is not one housing market. It's dozens of micro markets all doing their own thing at the same time. Some areas are still seeing strong demand and quick sales. Other areas are taking longer and require more strategy. Some areas we are seeing buyers negotiating less than list price offers or seller concessions to cover some of the buyer closing costs, while other areas are seeing multiple offers over list price. What's changed is how homes sell. A few years ago, you could price a home aggressively, do minimal prep, throw it on the market, and buyers would fight over it. That market rewarded speed more than strategy. That is not today's market. Today's market rewards pricing correctly, presenting the home well, and marketing it properly from day one. Homes that check those boxes are still selling, sometimes very quickly. Homes that miss on one or more of those tend to sit. And when a home sits, buyers start asking questions. What's wrong with it? Why hasn't it sold? Is it overpriced? Is there something I'm not seeing? And that perception matters more now than it has in years past. For sellers, one of the biggest truths you need to hear is this: the market is not for giving guesses. Pricing a home today is not about testing the waters. It's about understanding who the buyer is for that specific property and positioning it correctly from the start. Buyers are still out there, but they are more informed, more cautious, and more selective. They're comparing homes online. They're watching price changes. They're paying attention to days on market. The homes that are priced right, presented well, and marketed properly are guiding buyers home. The ones that aren't are teaching buyers to wait. For buyers, here's the truth you need to hear. You have more opportunity than the headlines suggest. Yes, the interest rates are higher than they were a few years ago. That is real. But higher rates have also slowed competition in many segments, which means fewer bidding wars, more negotiation, and more time to make decisions. That's not a bad thing if you approach it the right way. The key is understanding your specific market, your budget, and your long-term plan instead of reacting emotionally to national headlines. Buying in 2026 isn't about timing the perfect market. It's about buying the right home in the right area at the right price with the right expectation. And that's true on the selling side too. Success right now isn't about hoping the market does the work for you. It's about strategy. It's about understanding that different homes attract different buyers, and those buyers respond to pricing, presentation, and marketing more than ever before. So if you're taking one thing away from this, let it be this: the market is still moving. Buyers are still buying, sellers are still selling. But the days of one-size-fits-all advice are gone. Whether you're buying or selling, the smartest move you can make in 2026 is to stop listening to the headlines and start looking at what's actually happening in your specific market. That's where the real opportunity is. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and take a look at our next video.